Good morning, students. Welcome to the next lecture of Electronic Measurements and Instrumentation. My name is T.S.S. Nagapavan Kumar. Today, we will discuss the concept of Anderson's bridge. In the previous class, we have seen a wide variety of AC bridges. We have seen 7 variety of AC bridges. In the 7 AC bridges, this is the last one of Anderson's bridge. So these are the previous lectures bridges. So the first one, capacitance comparison bridge. With the help of this capacitance comparison bridge, we are measuring unknown capacitance value. Next, inductance comparison bridge. With the help of inductance comparison bridge, we are measuring unknown inductance value. Next, Maxwell's bridge, Hayes bridge. By using these two bridges also, we are measuring unknown inductance value. So next, Shearing's bridge. So with the help of the Shearing bridge, we are measuring unknown capacitance value. And the last one is Wien's bridge. So this Wien bridge is used for measuring the unknown frequency and unknown capacitor values more accurately. So these are the bridges we have seen in the previous classes. Let us see the today's concept of Anderson's bridge. So this is the basic structures of Anderson bridge. So this is a picture A, which is representing basic structures of Anderson's bridge. So in this Anderson bridge, like the previous bridges has 4 arms. Here also this Anderson's bridge also has the same type of 4 arms. Additionally, not only these 4 arms, additionally here we have 2 components, that is R5 and C here. R5 and C components are here. So these R5 and C components were connected from the detector, from the AC detector to D and C terminals. Let us see here. We have A, B, C, D. Here totally we have 4 terminals. So in between A, B, C, D terminals, we have 4 arms like previous bridges. We have another terminal called E. We have a new another terminal called E. So this is the E terminal which will be at the edge of the AC detector, at the one side edge of the AC detector. Another side edge of the AC detector is connected to the B terminal. So from this E point we have a capacitor and we have a resistor components, and this resistor is connected to the D terminal and this capacitor is connected to the C terminal. So see here, this is the Anderson's bridge basic structure. So see here, this is the new concept. It seems to be like as in a delta structure. Seems to be like as in a delta structure. If the structure is like this, we cannot identify the bridge balancing condition properly. So for that reason, for my comfort purpose, I am converting this star type connection into this type of delta connection into the star type connection. So this is seems to be like as a delta type connection. This delta connection we have to convert into the star type connection. So after converting into the star type connection, I got like this. So here we have some resistance and capacitance components. So totally some impedance, resistance with reactive components are available. So finally I am representing this all the terminals with the impedance terminals. So see here I have represented that delta into the star. So see here the D, C, E terminals, 3 terminals are there. Here also E, C, D terminals are there. In between these terminals, the delta we have to convert as a star. So this is the star connectivity. That is, one is ZOE and second one is ZOC and third one is ZOD. Okay. So from the connection from the E node, we are representing the impedance is ZOE. From the C connection we are represented, that is ZOC. From the D connection we are represented, that is ZOD. Now let us see what is the values of ZOE, ZOC and ZOD with the component representations of R3 and R5 and C components. For this we have to go back to the network theory subject, that is delta to star connectivity. Okay, so let us see. Here the same type of delta connections here I am taking. So I have taken 3 resistance components here, right? So these 3 connections here I am representing 1, 2, 3 points. 1, 2 and 3 points. Next, For this I have given R12 in between 1 and 2 terminals the resistance is there. For that reason I am represented this is R12. In between 3 to terminals that resistor I am representing R32, and in between the 1 and 2 terminal one more resistor is there. I am representing that one is R13. Now we have to convert this delta into the star. After converting delta into the star, so these are the three resistors I got. These three resistors I am representing with R1, R2, R3. That is the new resistors are R1, R2, R3. Old resistors are R13, R12, R32. Right? So finally, from this delta to star connection, the R1 we are defining from the network theory subject. R1 is equal to R12, R31, R12, R31 by R12 plus R23 plus R31. That is, whatever the component here, this in between these two terminals, I am representing the resistor. For that, I have taken in the denominator all the resistance summation value. There is total 3 resistors are available. 3 resistors I have represented. Here I am adding the 2 resistors R13 and R12. I have represented here, right? So R13 and R31. R13 or R13, R31 both are same. So that is I have represented in the numerator. So this is the R1 resistance. Next, this is the R2 resistance in the same way, and this is the final one R3 resistance. So this is the delta to star connection, and its basic mathematical representation. Note it down. Okay. Right. Now we have completed the delta to star connection completely. Now based on this strategy, now we have to show the structure for the Anderson's bridge. So this is the Anderson's bridge. This is the Anderson's bridge. Based on this, here we have to know ZOD and ZOC values. That is, in the previous lecture we have seen. In the previous slide, we have seen the ZOD and ZOC. Here we have to know the 4 arms. For that reason, ZOD and ZOC values we have to know. So there is no necessity of knowing the ZOE value and knowing ZOD and ZOC values. So the ZOD and ZOC values. Right, see here, the ZOD value, that is R3 R5 by R3 plus R5 plus and one more capacitance combination, that is plus 1 by j omega c. Okay, and next ZOC is equal to R3 by j omega c by R3 plus R5 plus 1 by j omega c, that is equal to Z3 arm. Okay, so here we have to see two impedances parameters, that one is ZOD and another one is ZOC. These two are those expressions from delta to star connection basic principle. Right. Now we have to write the bridge balancing condition for this Anderson's bridge. So after coming into the star connection of the Anderson's bridge, here the first arm Z1, it is the series combination of one resistance and one inductance. And the Z2 arm is consisting of R2 resistors and Z3 arm. The Z3 arm is consisting not only this R4, so see here, ZOC. The Z3 is equal to ZOC. ZOC is equal to the component. Here, this arm I am representing as third arm, that is ZOC. The ZOC is equal to R3 by j omega c by R3 plus R5 plus 1 by j omega c. And the last term Z4 is equal to R4, and this ZOD is also comes under category of the fourth arm. So the fourth arm is equal to Z4 is equal to R4 plus ZOD, R4 plus ZOD. So see here, so this is the A, this is the B, this is the C, and now the new D is available here. This is the new terminal of D. This is the new terminal of D. This is the new terminal of D. So this D terminal is gone here, and this is the new terminal we got here. So these two components, by combining these two components, we can say that is the new arm. So these are the new arms we got. So based on that arms, Z4 is equal to R4 plus ZOD. So this is about 4 arms. Now we have to write down the bridge balancing condition. So we know the bridge balancing condition. Write down all of you the bridge balancing condition, that is right. That is Z1 Z3 is equal to Z2 Z4. Z1 Z3 is equal to Z4. So the opposite, that is the opposite arms impedances are going to be equal. That is Z1 and Z3 is almost opposite here, and Z2 Z4. So see here, this arm and this ZOC are parallel, and this arm is completely parallel. So from this picture, R2 and R4 are parallel arms, and R1 and ZOC are the opposite arms. So this opposite arms product we have to take. That is Z1 Z3 is equal to Z2 Z4. Okay, a slight modification based on the representation of that values. Now, based on this, we have to substitute these values in the Z1, Z3. We have to substitute Z3 is equal to ZOC. Z1 is equal to, we have written this R1 J omega L1, that we have to write here. So this is Z1 and this is Z3, and this is Z2 and this is Z4. Okay, now we have to do the simplification process. Right. So, where R plus J omega L1 here I have written, the ZOC, this is the ZOC expression. We have to substitute the ZOC expression into here. Next, R2 into, in the place of Z4 we have to write R4 plus ZOD. So this is a ZOD expression. In the previous slide we have taken that ZOD value. You have to substitute ZOC and ZOD values. Now, we have to simplify these expressions. Now we have to simplify these expressions. That means we have to multiply these expressions. After multiplying, you have to separate the real terms and imaginary terms parts. So see here. So this denominator and the denominator, both the denominators I have cancelled. The remaining terms I have multiplied. After multiplication, I got the expression like this. That is R1 R3 by J omega C plus J omega L1 R3 by J omega C. That is equal to R2 R3 R4 plus R2 R4 R5 plus R2 R4 by J omega C plus R2 R3 R5. This is the expression. So from this expression, let us see the final values we have to measure. So this expression I am separating to the real and imaginary parts separately. Right. See here. Equating the real terms and imaginary terms. Equating the real and imaginary terms, I got the first condition. L1 R3 by C is equal to one expression, and from this expression I am finding this L1 value. From this expression I am finding this L1 value. This L1 value, after simplifying this expression, finally I got like this. L1 is equal to C R2 into R4 plus R5 plus R4 R5 by R3. Next, by equating imaginary terms, we will get R1 R3 is equal to R2 R4. Therefore, R1 is equal to R2 R4 by R3. So these are the expressions finally we got here from the Anderson's bridge. This method is capable of precise measurement of inductance and a wide range of values from a few henries to several henries. So basically, finally, we measured the unknown inductance value from this methodology. So this is a bridge balancing condition, and these are the expressions we have obtained finally. So we have taken R1 values and we have taken the L1 values. Alright. So here we have a problem on the Anderson's bridge. So see here this example. An inductive coil was tested by an Anderson's bridge. The following values are balanced. Here we have the arms. Arm AB, unknown inductance having resistance R1 and inductance L1. That is unknown. They have given resistance and inductance values R1, L1. That means we have to measure the R1 and L1 values. We have the R1 formula and L1 formula. Arm BC, CD, DA are the resistors having 1000 ohms, 1000 ohms and 2000 ohms respectively. A capacitor of 10 microfarads and resistance 400 ohms are connected between CE and ED respectively. Source between A and C, R is equal to 496, determine the L1 and R1. So next coming to that, this is a simplification. In this simplification, the given values we have written R2 is equal to 200 ohms, R3 is equal to 1000, R4 is equal to 1000, C is equal to 10 microfarads, small r is equal to 496 ohms. So these are the parameters we got. Now for measuring the R1, we have the formula R2 R3 by R4. So substitute these values and finally get the value. So that is equal to 200 ohms. Similarly, to calculate L1, we have to substitute the formula C R3 by R4 into R4 plus R2 R4 plus R3. So this way, in this expression, we have to substitute the values. Finally, we got 7.952 henries. That is 7.952 henries. So this is about the problem solution. Okay, with this we have completed Anderson's bridge. Thank you.